when you spend that kind of money to put somebody in the ground. I'll tell you exactly how what's going to happen in my body. You see, I've got arrangements. I've made arrangements, and if those people with whom I've made the arrangements with are no longer here, then I have other connections, and most of these people are Native American because it is my wish to. Because see, I have a little pancreatic cancer issue myself, and I have thought long and hard about what the way I would prefer. Now if this cancer thing gets out of hand, and as it is, things seem to be somewhat stable. As far as pain and things like that, and necrosis. I mean that the organ, is dying, and but if it gets out of control, or the day that I hear I have X amount of time to live, and I can feel that that's coming, because technically I was told, already that I am beyond my expiration date. But if I begin to feel that and see the effects of that, I know it's supposed to be an issue. Everybody knows. I will absolutely end the life, and I will do it in a very secluded place in the Daniel Boone National Forest. It's our local little suicide woods, but for a different reason, not just to go there and commit suicide. But see, the body, the body was. I mean, even the Christians, hail these terms: ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We must return. Our bodies. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Um, our bodies will return to that dust. Because, see, this body is nothing but an earthly vessel for spirit. Earthly vessel for spirit. And the time that we are corporeal, then we will exist as such. But the time that we are not, it is an honorable thing to me that my body feeds nature, feeds the things that feed us. It doesn't matter if it's a bear, a cougar, you know, um, a mountain lion, or wildcat, a turtle. It does not matter. I mean, the decomposition is nothing more than providing life for the elements that are literally taking over your body. It is an honorable thing. I will not be put in a box. I prefer not to be cremated because it's as though I'm saying instead of instead of handing back to nature what nature has handed to us, it is a much better and more honorable thing to literally feed nature. But anyway, and I know people are going to say, "Oh yeah, well 10 to 20 bucks was different back then." There's inflation and dollar rates and blah blah blah. But who controls all that? I mean, how is digging a 6 foot hole for a casket with shovels? And today we can just, push a few buttons. I remember in the 80s, I was excited when they said we're making stuff better and faster and cheaper. Because I thought, oh, well, you know what's coming? Things aren't going to cost as much. Boy, was I wrong about that. Yeah, they are making stuff better, faster, and cheaper. But the prices are going up because of greed. I mean, hell, you know, there's a pattern of because I'm on only on Social Security. That's less than $750 a month for anybody needing that tally. Now it is, because they had to argue that I could no longer afford. Um, there was a screw up, and they were taking out, kind of a back pay, and could no longer afford it. At least they gave them the opportunity, to remedy that. Well, technically they didn't. My wife worked some magic on them, but so I know $10 to $20, but as I said, push a few buttons, dig the same hole. Hell, the other day I talked to a friend of mine who said when he was a kid. Now he's much much older, obviously, and he said when he was a kid he could get his hair cut for a quarter. For a quarter. Now, when he was a kid, I'm not saying there weren't electric razors, but things were done more with scissors back then. The same scissors they use today. See, the cost of living keeps going up. To continue the strife on people, make them richer. There is no reason that some of these things should cost what they cost. But see, they kind of have to, because if you're cutting hair and that's your job, well, you can't live on a quarter, being paid a quarter for a haircut. No, prisoners make more than that. Abolish slavery, but then make sure the country has enough laws so that there are prisoners who do pretty much free labor for the states. Nice system. But see, I'm not just complaining about the cost of things. What I'm complaining about, what we all should be complaining about, is that the government has entirely too much control. And now they are proving they can arrest you for reporting their own criminal activity. Like I said, that pipeline, almost $24 million a day. Literally under the Missouri River, literally under the water source, the life giving water that these people are trying to protect. See, I'm not stupid. You're not stupid. Accidents happen. Now, here's what's going to happen. Back when they set up, the BIA, hospitals, when they said, okay, Indians, we're going to provide you with medical care. But oh, you live in this part. Well, your hospital that you can't go to the hospital that's closest to you. You have to go to the one that's, 50 to 100 miles away. Just that's the way they do it. So people stop seeking out health care. And even if they did get the health care, hell, they're getting poisoned. Women were given forced hysterectomies, going in to have a tooth pulled. I'm not making this up. Going to have a tooth pulled. Wake up with a hysterectomy. It is an attempt to eradicate an entire race of people. And it still continues. But it wouldn't surprise me after a few years, if even that long, there's a leak of something. Not just crude oil, but something that slowly poisons these people. There are places in the world where that people are only just now waking up, that living near, certain power stations, the cancer rate is higher for the people who live around these power stations. These are electromagnetic waves, people. The same stuff you keep buying these televisions, the phones, the laptops. I mean, hey, I've got them too, obviously. But you are buying your own poison. But yeah, this pipeline's going to leak something. And there's going to be sickness. And there's going to be an illness. First, what'll happen, just like in other places, first, what will happen is the people will become sterile. The population will begin to decrease. This is exactly what I predict, and nobody's going to know about it because your report, your report doesn't tell you that when you turn on your TV and you see that guy standing in whatever country, seeing these poor kids have no water, these poor kids have no food. Well, it's happening right here in America. Not just in every state. That's not just the regular hungry people. So I'm talking about third world living conditions on some of these reservations. I'm talking about people who still don't have plumbing and or food, and and I'm not saying that this is all Christians, but hey, Christianity still uses that same old trick. Hey, you come and give us your soul, and we will have a mission come to your reservation, and you'll get to eat. It is contingent upon becoming a Christian. They're going to tell you it's not. And I would look. I really want to believe that at least 90% of these people who go out there to give food and help anybody that's less fortunate would not try to force their religion upon you. But it does happen. But like I said, they've been inflicting genocide on Native Americans for 500 years, and hardly anyone knows about it. They've been kidnapping, raping, murdering, as I said, forced hysterectomies on the women, making sure, and here's number one, making sure that there's plenty of alcohol, heroin, you name it, on these reservations. They're making sure that the Native Americans kill themselves. Hell, the suicide rate. Go look up the suicide rate. I think Red Lake Reservation had one of the highest suicide rates of juveniles, of kids, anywhere in the country. But now you see what they're doing when it comes, in getting back to the whole topic. What they're doing to these people. They're trying to get rid of those who expose the truth. And my question again is, does it matter more when that alleged, quote, criminal is white? Eric Snowden, white, but an enemy of the state, an enemy of a system that stands to gain money at the cost of your life. Hell, right now, everybody's pissed off at Russia, allegedly, and there's no way to know, because they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you whatever they want. Hell, they think Osama was behind 9/11. Although they don't think it, but that's what they told us. Anyone that speaks the truth about the level of corruption in your government gets taken out. But you see, that's the nature of a warrior, of someone who is fighting the system. People who speak the truth. We know that planting seeds, the seeds of change in this world, can get you arrested or killed That doesn't matter. Serve the greater good.